Alrighty. Today is episode 3. Last time we had the tea party. Met Birkenstell, and she's going to be participating in the next game. Part of why I'm excited, both because, according to Brady, it's pretty hype. Not that the entire thing hasn't been hype, but this one's definitely going to be hype. And I'm curious to see what Birkenstell can do. She's new to me. I'm kind of thinking about who's going to get picked this time. Well, not that everybody's going to get picked. I'm kind of thinking about how the order is going to go this time. All right. If you figured out the structure of this world by now, you have no chance of victory unless you know the rules, position of the game. Okay, right. Difficulty level is equal for both you and the witch. Oh. Okay, I like how that changes each time. Alright, cool. So what do we have going on this time? It's very obviously right. Yeah, okay. Regular warning. That's the house from the title screen. That looks like a different building. Not the usual manner. Okay. The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection. So that I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty, I was always given strict orders never to touch it. That just made me want to touch it. It looked light, and yet so elegant that just glancing at it gave it an indescribable sense of dignity. I want to see what it felt like to touch a vase like that. However, just as Grandfather had said, it was a thing that shouldn't be touched. Something this beautiful should never be touched. Such beauty can only dwell in something so easily broken. Because of that, just the brush of a finger by someone like me would... Just like how a fun dream disappears with a poof when you wake up. It disappeared, fell, broke into pieces. I realized that, because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase would not be returned to its original form. Grandfather would probably scold me. Probably very harshly. I ended up breaking into tears and sobbing, frightened. As I did, I noticed something beautiful. Lightly dancing golden butterflies were coming towards me. As mysteriously glowing golden dots shone in the air, the butterflies began to gather, one at a time. Oh, it's Beatrice. Beatrice, the reliable golden witch, had arrived. Okay. That's... It's not Beatrice. The butterflies kept gathering until they formed a cloud, and then she was there. She was always there for me. Whenever I was in trouble, she always appeared and saved me. Who's this? What the fuck? Is this like an AU like Rokenjima or something? What is happening here?
おやおや、このような絶好のお茶会日和にどうして姫様はそのように涙をこぼされているのですか？
おじい様が大切にしていた壺を壊してしまったの。おじい様に怒られます。どうしたらいいかわからなくて。
それは困りましたね。これは親方様が大層お気に入りになられていた壺のはず。どのような折感があるか、このベアトリーチェ、想像するのも恐ろしゅうございます。
Beatrice, I know. Okay. Who's she talking to? Who are we? Grandfather was a very frightening person. And when you failed to follow something he said even once, he would become so mad, with a rage that would make even fallen angels in hell quiver. Since I knew that down to my bones I couldn't do anything but tremble and cry,
こぼしてしまった姫様の涙を救う魔法は持ち合わせておりませんが、姫様が親方様から折感を受けなくて済むようにする魔法ならなんとかなるかもしれません。
can't just prepare the vase?
本当？
姫様が私の力をお信じくださればでございます。魔法の力の根源は信じる力。奇跡はそれを強く信じる者の前にしか示されません。
信じる。ベアトリーチェの魔法を信じます。だからこの壺を直してください。お願いします。
姫様がそれをお望みでしたら、それではこのベアトリーチェにお任せを。
She extended her index finger. A golden butterfly softly landed there and changed its form into her favorite cane. But even that was enough to give me a small glimpse at Beatrice's wonderful and awesome magic power. She pointed her cane at the broken vase and, just like a child's lullaby, she began speaking the magic words.
さあさあ、目を閉じてごらんなさい。そして思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。それはきっととてもとても美しい姿。どうか私にあの姿をもう一度見せておくれ。
Were they words, or was it a song? No, it had to be magic. After all, can't you see? The pieces of the vase are rapidly gathering together, gently returning to the place where they had been on display, resembling into their original form.
すごい。
ほら、これで元通りですよ。これで親方様にお叱りを受けずに済みますね。
Okay, thanks. Why does Beatrice look like that? I was not expecting a new sprite.
ベアトリーチェはすごいね。
Or a completely different it's like we're not even in the same place anymore.
壊れ れた壺を直すなんて造作もないんだね。
そんなことはありませんよ。壊れてしまったものを元に戻すのはとても難しいことです。私の魔法は一時それを思い出させるだけに過ぎませんよ。
でも壺はちゃんと元通りになったよ。
そうですね。ですがそれは壺が壊れたという運命を回避させたわけではありません。壊れた壺に一時壊れる前の姿を思い出させるだけに過ぎません。壊れた運命を元の姿に修復するほどの魔力はこのベアトリーチェにも未だ至らぬ遥かな高みなのです。
At that time, the high-pitched scream of a servant could be heard from inside the mansion. Ooh. When I went to see what happened, I noticed that several of the servants had gathered and were cleaning up the remains of the broken vase. From what they say, it seemed a black cat had sneaked in from somewhere and climbed up on the vase, causing it to break. I understood the meaning of Beatrice's words. At the moment I broke the vase was broken. Beatrice let me see the vase being restored, but it was a temporary thing. It didn't mean she changed the fate of the vase being broken. And so, the vase remembered its true fate and broke. However, the one who broke it wasn't me, but a cat that had snuck in. That's right. Beatrice never said, let's fix the vase. She said she'd prevent the master from scolding me. The fate of the vase breaking hasn't changed, but the fact that I broke it certainly has. Beatrice cleverly saved me from danger with that magic.
物を壊すことはとても容易なことです。
I feel like this is going to be very important for this episode. That little exchange just now.
姫様が壺を割るのに魔法を必要としなかったように。
直すことはとても難しいこと？
はい。姫様が途方に暮れて泣き出してしまうほどに。
魔法というのは恐ろしいことをする時の方がたやすいの？壊したり殺したりすることは簡単にできるのに、直したり蘇らせたりするのはとても難しいというし。
そうですね。魔法は殺めたり壊したりすることの方がとても簡単です。故に誘惑に負ける弱き魔女たちは安易に身につけられる力に酔い、本当の魔法の修行を怠ってしまいます。本当の魔法とは、治す力、蘇らせる力。散ってしまった幸せを呼び戻し、冷めてしまった愛をも呼び戻す。そして微笑を忘れてしまった姫様の顔に笑顔を呼び戻せるのですよ。なら、
壺を直すことができたベアトリーチェはすごい魔女ということ？
私などまだまだ修行の日々ですよ。壺が割れるという運命を私の魔法ではほんの1時間も忘れさせることができなかったのですから。私に魔法を教えてくれたお師匠様ならきっと永遠に壺を元の姿に蘇らせることができたでしょうね。
壊れ れても壊れても何度でも何度でも直せる？
ええ、その境地に達した時、無限の魔力が備わるでしょう。それこそが魔女の達するべき無限の境地。私たちはその魔女を最大の敬いをもってこう呼びます。
無限の魔女。
そうです。無限に治す力を持つ魔女にとって壊れるという概念はもはや存在しない。失うというすべての悲しみから解放され、永遠の至福を約束されるのです。
Certainly, the human world is full of sadness caused by separation and loss. To escape the sadness, people pray to gods and ask for the power to withstand their sadness, believing it to be a test. You know, in other words, a human's life is a journey, searching for a way to withstand sadness. In that case, a witch who could revive all things would be freed from all sadness in the world. Simply put, that would mean eternal bliss.
私もベアトリーチェみたいな魔女になって永遠に幸せになれるかな。
Some much more modest, like Beatrice.
姫様がですか？それは長い大変な修行となりますよ。
私魔女になりたい。幸せになりたい。ベアトリーチェの弟子になりたい。
そのお気持ちにいささかの揺らぎもありませんか？
はい、私も魔女になりたいです。
わかりました。では姫様がお湧きになるまで私の弟子にして差し上げましょう。
Is this still Maria?
私のことをお師匠様と呼べますか？
はい、お師匠様。
良い返事ですね。ではこれからは私と一緒に魔法の深淵を学んでいきましょう。私とって修行の身。共に魔法を正しく学び、至福の境地を目指して頑張りましょう。
はい、お師匠様。
Okay. This other person and Beatrice are gonna learn. Immediately into the tea party. That's the Beatrice I know. What is going on here? Oh.
懐かしい顔だ。
And which was it? That rank I'd yearned for in the past as the highest possible achievement was now just another one of my titles. No, you might even call it my calling card.
たまにはその呼び名に充足を感じるのもおつなものかもしれない。
A flashback?
長き修行の日々の果てに得たものではないか。たまにはありがたみを感じねば少々もったいないというものよ。
So how did she get to this? She shook her head lightly. If it's the highest possible level, that means there's nothing higher. An eternal dead end. the beginning of eternal boredom.
お師匠様は言っていたな。すべての悲しみから解き放たれることが、すなわち永遠の至福だと。だからこそ、故に思う。お師匠様は、その域に至れなかった、とな。
Eternal bliss means eternal boredom. And that's the beginning of eternal torture. It all depends on how you look at it. Eternal boredom is the same as a sketchbook that doesn't run out of pages. It means you can draw whatever you want and try to have as much fun as you want. Boredom is the worst sort of poison, which kills all witches. Even those great witches who are given the title Lady fear it. It's the eternal poison that tortures them because of the eternal bliss they've reached. Oh, so Lady Birkenstell, Lady Lambda Delta, okay, reach, alright.
無限の魔女の名を得た今だからこそ、再びお師匠様と語らいたいものよ。我らの修行の果てにあったのは、本当に幸せだったのか。
Damn it, dude. I really muted this shit. Bruh. Okay.
そして、本当の幸せとは何なのか。今こそ語り合いたいものよ。
Training has no end. When you think you've reached the eternal level, that's exactly the time to bemoan your own immaturity? Never heard of that word. I recalled those words as though she'd answered me directly. Who the hell could have taught Beatrice?
なるほど。わらわは未熟か。それはよい、それはよい。
Sound of painfully shrill laughter rang out. It was coming from my furniture. What? They break their toy again? Which furniture? Oh. Beelzebub. What were the two that we saw? Beelzebub and Satan, I think?
こいつまた動かなくなっちゃいました。まだ私、
Oh, man.
全然遊び足りないのに。情けない男。私なんか全然遊んでないのに。
Leviathan? I think that's a new one.
私にも遊ばせて遊ばせて。
Where are these names from? Beelzebub, I think, is like from the Bible? There's Satan. Okay, I thought one of them was Satan.
お前たちが飢えた犬みたいにがっつくから、いくらベアトリーチェ様が直してもすぐ壊しちゃうのよ。
サタン姉が一番壊してるよ。
How many of these devils are there? Or what are they, snakes?
加減を知らないから。
Good God.
申し訳ございません、ベアトリーチェ様。
Lucifer. Okay, I've lost count. What are we at? 6?
グマイどもをどうかお許しください。
Stupid little sisters.
早くこいつを直して。
I remember that one too. Okay, Asmodeus. Asmodeus? Whatever.
次は私。次は私。
静かにせぬかやかましい。
A single yell was all it took to make the noisy sisters of the seven stakes vanish. Oh, that's why there's seven. Okay. Sisters of the seven stakes. Right. All they do is mess around, having as much fun as they want breaking him. They only come to me to clean up afterwards. Truly, this furniture never leaves me bored. Once the furniture hid themselves, all that remained was a sloppy mess, the last remnants of a broken toy. Jesus Christ. It had no form anymore?
このざまでは、わらわとて元の姿を思い出すのも難しい。
Is this still the same furniture from episode 2? Like previously?
当の本人に思い出させるのが一番
God.
か。
That's kind of hard to remember. Oh, it's kind of rough. I waved my golden pipe. Then I spoke. I chanted. I made it remember.
さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。何しろわらわには、今のそなたは肉の残骸の山にしか見えぬのでな。どれが腕やら足やら見当もつかぬ。
What the fuck did they do to him?
そなたが思い出してくれなければ、わらわにはそなたの面影も思い出せぬ。
By the power of magic, the pitiful pieces of meat began to remember what their form had been. Which part should go with which part? Where should join with where? That's right, just like that. No, you should be a finger on the left hand. This is operation. That's the right hand. That's it. Good. That's not who I think it is, right?
目が覚めたか?
Oh, not the goat.
もっとも目が覚めた方が悪夢の中とは実に皮肉な話だがな。わらわを魔女と認めさえすれば、すぐにそなたの悪夢を覚まし、天国へ誘ってやろうぞ。
Alright, welcome back.
わらわこそは煉獄山の王。わらわの許しなしにこの地獄より抜け出す方法はないのだ。
How could you possibly laugh at a time like, okay.
この程度で地獄かよ。ダメだな。ああ、全然ダメだぜ。
人ならば一度しか味わわずに済む死の苦しみを、もう両手の指では数えきれぬほど与えられたというのに、よくもそれだけの減らず口を叩けるものよ。だからこそ飽きぬ。そなたには飽きぬのよ。
ああ、全然飽きねえぜ。何しろ太ももの眩しいバインバインの姉ちゃんたちがよりどりみどりのハーレム状態なんだからよ。
Glad to see some things don't change, huh?
おかげさまでまるで退屈しねえぜ。
それはよかった。そうでなくてはわらわも退屈だ。それ家具ども直してやったぞ。また存分に遊ぶがよい。
ありがとうございます私がいただき。
They're just killing
だ
him.
からあんたは終わりよ終わり。次は私なの。どきなさいよ素敵よねバトラ君。モテモテじゃない。
モテる男は辛いぜ。畜生ども、順番に並びやがったんだ。
虚勢など張らずに素直になればもっと楽になれるのに。
いいのよこれで。その方が悲鳴が気持ちいいもの。
さあ今度は簡単に壊すんじゃないわよ。いいわね。返事は？あんたが仕切るんじゃないわよ。
I kind of thought Satan was.
さあバトラ君、さっきの続きよ。マスターキーでジェシカちゃんの部屋を施錠した後、どうやって室内の死体のポケットに鍵を戻してくれるの？
Oh, we're doing this? How they return the key to the corpse's pocket, which was inside the. Oh.
例えばよ、そうさ、釣り糸か何かを使って鍵だけを扉の隙間から室内に戻して。
甘いな。六軒島に存在するすべての扉は鍵が通り抜けられる隙間などない。
Oh, they can do that too.
外れたね、外れたね。さあ今度は私よ、私の番なのよ。どこを貫いちゃおっかな。私手の甲。
ずるい。じゃあ反対の手の甲。
私は花の頭をもらっちゃおっと。なんでなんで、私にもやらせて、私にも貫かせて。レビアネーはトロいのよ。いつだって私たちは早い者勝ちでしょうが。じゃあ私は足の甲をいただいちゃおっと。私は肩をもらっちゃうからいいもん。
Well, this is his hell. Ugh.
姉妹なんだろ。仲良くしやがるってんだ。
ほう、よくも耐えるものだな。お前のその痩せ我慢がむしろ私たちを楽しませているだけだとなぜ気づかない。
あいにくだな。痩せ我慢と肘の張り合いは俺のお箱なんだ。 お前らがどう俺を煙に巻こうとも、俺は絶対に魔女も魔法も認めねえ。
人間とトリックで何も説明できないくせにバカじゃないの。この身の程知らずが。いいのよ、無理に認めさせなくても。今に泣きながら認めたくなるわ。今だって本当は哀れに土下座しながら許しを請いたいくせに。
もう壊しちゃった。
Already?
ベアトリーチェ様。
Oh my god. Now I see why they're annoying her.
やれやれ。わらわがいくらでも蘇らせられることを知っているから、家具どもも壊すことに躊躇がない。困ったものよ。
Giving eternal rebirth and eternal death at will. Before the endless witch Beatrice, all death and life has no meaning. Even death can't become the key to escape from my cage.
さあバトラー、再び元の姿を思い出すがいい。何度でももてあそんでやるぞ。なるほどなるほど。永久に遊べる玩具とは実に愉快よ。なるほどな。これが無限の境地に至った魔女が得る至福の境地とやらなのか。
The endless eight.
なるほどなるほど。これは確かに愉快で至福だ。何度でも蘇らせてやる。何度でも殺してやる。さて、次なるゲーム版ではどのような殺人劇を繰り
That's
広
what I'm
げよ
waiting
う。
for.
さあ、新しきゲーム版を持て。次なるゲームを始めようではないか。後ろ宮バトラー。
Right. Time for the real episode 3 here. Yes! Always gotta start with this intro.
Yeah. やれやれ。
Yo, okay, so this time we start out on the boat. Oh, what the hell is this now? Bro, I might have to just like close Discord. Jesus Christ, dude. This one. There we go.
姉貴のタバコ嫌いにも参ったもんだな。すまんな。
God, they've been dead for so long. I kind of forgot what their sprites look like for a little bit. Like their artwork. It's been so long.
ゆうべからカリカリしとるんや。気にせんでやってくれんか。
Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out onto the deck and took out some cigarettes. Eva had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more sensitive to them. When they decided to smoke casually until they reached the island, the two of them had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but the strong winds gave him some trouble. Rudolph took out a Zippo with a smooth gesture and let Hideyoshi borrow the flame. What is a Zippo? Is it basically still a lighter? I don't think I've heard that before.
秀吉兄さんはいつ頃からタバコ？戦後すぐや。最初はタバコを転がしとってな。
Oh, you're right. It's 1985. I was like, damn, just after the war?
自分の売り物に手をつけてしまったわけや。じゃあ姉貴と会った時にはもう吸ってたわけだ。姉貴には随分やめろやめろと言われたでしょう。わしが聞く耳持たんもんだから、あれももうすっかり諦めよった。なやはり男は強情でなくてはあかんな。
This Hideyoshi. The happy, funny, cool uncle. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph snickered. After being scolded by Eva, they escaped to the deck together with their tails between their legs. There was little doubt who had gotten their way in the exchange. Alright.
普段はそこまで短気じゃないんや。いや、普段はもっと温和なおとなしい女なんやで。毎年毎年この日になると人が変わりよるんや。そうなんですか？俺らがよく知る昔からの姉貴そのものに見えますがね。そうや。後ろ宮家のエヴァに戻るんや。でもそれはわしと一緒のエヴァとは違うんや。まあカリカリする気持ちもわかります。今回の親族会議は面倒だ。
Every year.
そうやな。あのクラウス兄さんから金を脅し取ろうっちゅう計画や。親族会議なんて名ばかりの、これはただの兄弟喧嘩や。
Before the family conference, 3 of the siblings had made a secret pact without Kraus. They were all facing urgent situations and needed a lot of money fast. And the only one that they could turn to was Kraus, who spoke for the Ushiromi ahead now that Kinzo spent his time shut up in his study. For a long time now, they vaguely sensed that Kraus was taking advantage of the fact that Kinzo had lost interest in his own wealth. And they suspected that he started embezzling that wealth to suit his own purposes. Despite being disgusted by this, they turned a blind eye to it while everything was still going smoothly for them. But now that they needed money, they really couldn't afford to let it slide. Ava had asked Rudolph and Rosa to form an alliance, and they were now scheming to take that money away from Kraus.
わしもそしてルドルフ君も社長や。社員の生活を背負っとる身や。
ローザも社長ですよ。ま、道楽ですね。
I was about to say, when they said 3 siblings, who were they not including?
そうやな、失礼。つまりわしらは誰もが背負うものを持っとるっちゅうことや。
俺も幹部連中の前で単価を切った以上、土下座しても泥をすすってでも金を引っ張ってこなきゃならない。
お互い様や。わしもわしを信じてついてきてくれた社員たちを裏切れ。それこそクラウス兄さんの首根っこを掴んででも金を引っ張り出さんといかんのや。
Oh wait, no, Hideyoshi's not blood. That's right.
姉貴は昔っから兄貴とは犬猿だ。その兄貴と全面対決しなくちゃならねえんだから、そりゃカリカリもするだろうよ。
やっぱりエヴァはクラウス兄さんとは昔から仲が悪かったんか？
本人話しませんか？そりゃもう盛大に。
昔の話は聞いても話してくれんのや。思い出したい話がないんやろな。
姉貴は昔から容量も良くて頭が良かった。成績も良かった。それに比べ兄貴は盆栽だった。ただそばにいるだけでも十分にプレッシャーだったのに、兄貴はわざわざそれを誇示して兄貴を追い詰めていた。
アホやな。なんでそない敵外心むき出しで追い詰めるんや。そういうのは容量がいいとは言わん。
確かに。兄貴は女に生まれたことを悔やんでた。だから男というだけの理由で当主を継ぐことが決まっている兄貴が多分許せなかったんだ。だからことあるごとに自分の方が優秀であると親父に誇示していたっ
け。お父さんは古いタイプの人や。男女には差別的な価値観を持っとった。自己顕示の強いエヴァは少々嫌われてたんとちゃうか。
Was the whole family on this boat, or were they split up, showing up at different times again?
女の学力は紅茶の砂糖にも似ていると思わないかね。ないのも味気ないが、過ぎれば紅茶の味わいを大いに損なう。
Since you can still drink black tea without sugar, he was in effect saying that there was no need for women to study. Oh boy. Oh boy. Those infuriating words were what Nissan hurled at me in my despair. when I asked to go to college only to be denied by father. I protested that I needed to build up proper dignity in an education as the oldest daughter in the Ushiromiya family, making college an essential next step. But when it came down to it, father and Nissan's answers were exactly the same. How conceited for one. I've never taken the Ushiromiya name lightly, not once since I was born into it. And I've become even more careful not to take my father's name, Ushiromiya Kinzo, lightly. It's gotta be Jessica. Our family is an old one, many traditions. But it lost its wealth and businesses in the Great Kanto earthquake, pushing it into the brink at one point. That was when father took control of his ingenious talent, reviving it to be even greater than it had been before. Not once did I forget that I was the daughter of that great Ushiromiya Kinzo. That's why I always made every effort to become worthy of that name. I needed dignity worthy of the Ushiromiya family. Schooling, manners, and leadership. Even if I couldn't quite reach father's level, I deepened my knowledge in economics and finance, trying to improve myself so I could be of use to him at any time. However, in the end, father never acknowledged my efforts. To father, a woman was only meant to support a man, and nothing further than that was permissible. When was it that I came to understand that? It may have been as early as my childhood years. I was going to have to wait until I grew up before I could truly accept it. Compared to me, you couldn't have said that Kraus, my older brother of 2 years, worked hard at all to become deserving of the Ushiromiya family name. Oh, older brother. Okay, never mind. Told me many times since my early childhood that he would naturally succeed father simply because he was born a man. I kept on repeating that as though it formed an uncrossable gap between us. I couldn't stand it. You know, even though I'd always gotten better grades than Nissan, even though I became class president when he never managed more than vice president, even so, Nissan was considered to be the appropriate successor to the Ushiromiya family just because he was a man. Of course, you could find gender discrimination everywhere in those days. No, it was even considered virtue in that era. During that despicable time, people said when a woman is born, she obeys her parents. When she gets married, she obeys her husband. And when she gets old, she obeys her children. But that was exactly why I wanted to turn that on its head. Innocently, I kept trying to prove that I was the most fit. However, I eventually realized that all of my efforts had been doomed from the beginning.
女の学力は紅茶の砂糖にも似ていると思わないかね。
Time loop?
ないのも味気ないが、過ぎれば紅茶の味わいを大いに損なう。
それはどういう意味よ、兄さん。
男には男にしか務められないことがあるように、女とて女にしか務められないことがあるんじゃないかね。子を産み育て一家の主を支えるのは女でなければできぬ務めだと思うがね。
女には勉強や仕事をする必要がないと言いたいの？
そこまでは言わんよ。無学な女など話していても疲れるだけだ。だがあまり頭が良すぎる女はもっと疲れる。お前のように自己主張の激しい女では未来の夫もさぞや苦労すると思うのだがね。
女は結婚して夫の陰にいろとそう言いたいの？余計なお世話よ。
お前が親父殿を尊敬していてその娘としてふさわしくありたいと思う気持ちは我が妹ながら見上げたものだよ。私にも尊敬できることだ。
気持ち悪い。何が私よ。この間まで俺だったくせに。 もう当主気取りなの？
当主は私が継ぐことに最初から決まっている。にもかかわらず、お前は自分も当主になれるかのように錯覚して、無駄かつ暴走した努力をしているに過ぎんのだよ。
暴走した努力ですって。私が大学院に進みたいと言い出すのがそんなにもおかしいっていうの？
Really so.
ああ、おかしいね。お前は確かに栄光ある後宮家の長女だよ。やがてはその家紋を背負って父にとって最も価値ある相手と婚約することになるだろう。だがそこで求められるのは過剰な学識ではない。夫をいたわる優しい気持ちと家事能力、そして一家の長を立てる控えめな態度だ。お前にはそれが完全に欠落している。それは後宮家の令嬢として果たしてふさわしいことなのかね。
私は真相の令嬢のつもりなんかないわよ。お父様の仕事を手伝ってあげられる最高の人間でありたいと思っただけよ。
ならそれは後宮家令嬢としてふさわしくあるべきではないのかね。お前ときたらなんだね。いい年をして未だに男勝りで家事炊事はおろか男を喜ばせる化粧一つ身につけていないじゃないか。
Hitting where it hurts.
最近は喧嘩の稽古までしてると言うじゃないかね。
Oh, she is trained in that. That's right.
失礼な。喧嘩じゃないわよ。武道は心の修練に最適なのよ。それに叱るべき場に出るときは十分女として気を使ってるわよ。何が言いたいのよ。女は男に仕える奴隷であれと、しゃしゃり出るなと、そう言いたいわけ？
それを認めるのはエレガントではないが、お前の勘違いを正すには少々毒のある言葉も必要かと思うよ。だから言い切ろう。女は男に仕えるために存在する。そして男は女を養うために存在する。女の仕事は男の背中を守り、家庭を守って子を育てることだ。それは本来言葉で気づかされることではない。おのずと気づくことだ。
Girls gonna get canceled? Yeah. It's that mid 80s Japanese mindset. It's really canceling.
しかしお前はいくつになってもそれを自覚しなかったな。だから社会に出る前に兄である私がその誤解を解くのだよ。感謝してほしいものだね。
それは全ての女への侮辱よ。いえ、私は自分のことを女だと思ったことなどないし、女だからと甘えたことなど一度もない。私のどこが兄さんに劣っているというの？成績も経歴も何もかも私の方が勝っていて、ただ男である以上の何も持たない兄さんが私の何を見下せるっていうのよ。
身の程をわきまえているか否かだよ。私は次の当主としての心構えを日々養っている。それは将来必ず必要になることだ。だがお前は違う。嫁ぎ 後ろ宮の席を失うことが決まっているくせに、見る必要のない幻を見ている。
They kept it.
何がそんなに不満なんだ。仮に男に生まれようとも、当主を継ぐのはお前ではないだろうに。お前は何がそんなにも不満で私に突っかかってくるのか。
何が不満かですって？兄さんはいつも自分は当主跡継ぎだからと私を見下して、そのくせ
What's my complaint, you say? Got a billion of them. Grudges, hard feelings, humiliations that I'll never forget keep floating through the back of my mind. They all built up at the same time, coming out of my throat as a shameful moan.
何事か想像し。
Oh, I thought the flashback was over.
沈黙を尊ぶのは神だけではないぞ。
お父さん。
Younger Kinzo.
お父様。
He probably overheard our sibling fight. Father entered with a clearly unhappy face.
クラウス。
When was the last time this guy was happy?
また兄弟喧嘩か。お前にはなぜに弟や妹たちを率いる貫禄が宿らぬのか。情けない。
Ooh, he's in trouble.
長男が聞いては切れるぞ。
Yikes. That's gonna hurt. In a flash, he struck Krause's face. I readied myself to be struck in the same way, but I wasn't hit.
申し訳ありません。お父さん。
お前に足りぬのは貫禄だけではない。まだまだ足りぬ。何もかもが未熟だ。
Damn. Here he was sitting on his high horse, only for Kinzo to knock him right back down.
にもかかわらず一人前を気取っておる。それを語るには100年早いことを肝に銘じ、研鑽に努めよ。わしをこれ以上息子の不出来で嘆かせるでないぞ。
はい。お父さんの後を継ぐにふさわしい人間になれるよう、さらに努力します。
It was as if those words were directed at me. Even when he was being yelled at by father, he was still bragging to me about how he was special. About how he was the successor. I just couldn't stand it and finally spoke what was on my mind. Even though I realized that it would be improper for a member of the Ushiromiya family to do such a thing.
お父様、教えてください。私の何が劣っているというのですか？私はお父様の名に恥じない人間になれるよう、今日まであらゆる勉強と努力を重ねてまいりました。どうか私にも何が劣っているのかお教えください。私はこれ以上何を身につけたならお父様に認めていただけるのですか？
またその話か。お前には何度言えばわかるのだ。お前に期待していることなど何もない。女は女らしく料理や裁縫を学んでおればいい。
Hey, go ahead and add Kinzo to that cancel list, by the way.
貴様には女の心構えがないのだ。夫に仕えようとする気心が男に尽くそうという海外しさが全く感じられぬ。何のための女なのか。後宮家の令嬢であることを自覚しておるのか。なのに学びたがることは男の真似事ばかり。お前の役割はクラウスの真似事ではないのだぞ。お前には自らの役割が分かっているのか。
私は後宮家の人間としてお父様の名に恥ずかしくない。
You already have.
その時点でもう間違っておるわ。貴様の役割は家を出て嫁ぎ、わしにとって有益な男を連れてくることだ。そして夫に尽くし、子を産み増やせ。
Jesus Christ.
夫の一族に褒めたたえられる良妻であれ。お前に男を喜ばせる何ができるというのか。茶の作法があるというのか。料理の才能があるというのか。何もない。お前がやっているのはみんなクラウスの真似事ばかりではないか。後ろ宮家はクラウスが継ぐ。
There it is. It should have been in red.
お前がそれに不満を唱えるというのなら、それはこの私に逆らうということだ。お前は我が娘でありながら父の言うことを聞けぬというのか。出て行け。感動だ。
Disinherited.
お前に後ろ宮など語らせん。
Oh. Oh.
感動だ感動だ。
お父さん、しっかり。落ち着いてください。源氏さん、水を持ってきてもらえますか。
はい、ただいま。
エヴァ、席を外せ。本心ではないさ。私がなだめておく。
感動だ。私の言うことが危険なら感動だ。
He's going through it. Father was coughing pretty badly, and Nissan patted his back, as if it was a duty that was naturally his. It was so vexing for me to let him take that duty all for himself right then. If I carelessly approached Father at that moment, then I would probably be the next one to get hit. However, I fearlessly tried to approach Father's back. Genji blocked me.
エヴァ様、今は席をお外しになられた方が良いでしょう。親方様は今日はご機嫌がよくありません。
でも
なぜに私の息子たちはこうも不出来なのか。クラウスは貫禄が足りず、エヴァはいつまでたってもじゃじゃ馬だ。男らしい男はおらず、女らしい女もいない。私の育て方がいつどこでどう間違ったのか。
Probably doesn't help if you just sit in the study all day.
なぜだ源氏。私は何をいつどこでどう間違えたというのか。
親方様は何もお間違いになってはおりません。クラウス様はたくましいご子息に、エヴァ様は麗しいご令嬢に成長されました。何もお間違いにはなっておりません。
あれのどこが麗しいというのか。淑女どころか男の真似事ばかり。感動だ感動だ。
お父さん、それは私からよくエヴァに言い聞かせたところです。エヴァもこれからは心を入れ替えてレディーとして振る舞うと約束してくれました。どうかもう少しの猶予をいただけませんか。
何がレディーだ。感動だ感動だ。
Just take him upstairs already. Why are you still doing this? Go quickly and leave this to me. Kraus gave me a look telling me that. Interesting. If she shows up without the wing on, then it's not gonna be changed in the timeline. Did I take the wrong path, just like Father Nissan said? Oh shoot, wait, hold on. Completely lost track of time. Wait. Brady? Did you go? I think he went in. I forgot it's 8. Yep. Okay. Shoot. Alright. We'll save this scene. Alright, let's save this here. Okay. Good start to episode 3. A good start. Damn. I have to DM him. I have to DM and let him know. Next week, I can't do Umineko next week. Next Thursday. We either gotta skip a week or see if I can put this on another day. But next Thursday, I've got to do some stuff for Bloxfest. Unfortunately, because it's gonna be week 2 and it's gonna be badge hunting. Unfortunately, one of the badges is on the 19th, which is Thursday. So I have to figure it out. I might not be able to do next Thursday. But we'll see. I'll update and we'll, let you guys know as we go forward. Gotta figure out how the schedule's gonna go. But for now, GG's. Good start in episode 3. It's looking interesting so far. Cool lore. I wonder if this is gonna be a separate timeline / kind of AU family, but I don't know. There's more to know. I'll be back tomorrow, starting week 2 Bloxfest. I'll see you guys then.